Welcome back guys to OrangeX, and today from now on in this tutorial we'll start off with routers and see what routing is as a whole. So Polymer actually supports as of now two routers, and those are like declarative and imperative, and both the routers are supported. So if we just head over to the index.html file which we had earlier on in the tutorial, just before we had made our own HTML file. So this is the HTML file that comes in packed with the human generator itself, or the maybe in the Polymer starter kit it is also present. So if you just go on to that file and rename it back to index.html and remove that file which we had created ourselves, so I have just renamed it to hash and then renamed the last file to index.html file. So we see that this thing is actually working totally fine, and I'll just head over to the browser again, resize it. Okay, so one place where the router that comes inbuilt with Polymer would not be a very good choice would be like, suppose you have a web page and which contains some kind of data fetching part, and it fetches data from the server. So you have routing in the app itself. So but what this router would do is that even if you haven't opened that tab, so like I have under this tab, under the users tab. Okay, so under the users tab I have all these my YouTube elements which we had created earlier. So these are actually present under the users tab, and under the home tab nothing else, nothing about data fetching part is actually present. Okay, and the contact tab is also clear. So if we just go and refresh and see, we are still in the home part, and I'll just refresh the browser again. Okay, so this thing is actually refreshing, and we are seeing that some kind of long data requests are going on. So we'll just let it reload. Okay, so the whole thing has actually reloaded, and you just go in and type YouTube. Okay, so you can see in the log out here is that even though we are still in the home part, so still this app has gone ahead and fetched the YouTube videos which we have under the users tab, and already fetched it. So one demerit of the such type of implementation could be like, you have a very big app, and even though the user has not kind of clicked or tapped on that link or button, still that app would go and fetch every single element, every single link that it is connected with. Or maybe it may just have large amounts of data flowing throughout the network even though it is not required. So in such a case, there is another kind of router that is present which will actually work fine with Polymer, and it is known as app router. Okay, so the app router is actually a declarative type of router, and the one that Polymer uses by default is a imperative router, and it is actually known as page.js. So the basic difference between an imperative and a declarative router is that in imperative router we have to define the routes within the JavaScript file, and in case of declarative router, as in app router, we can just define the paths or the routes within the HTML file. So as you can see, this is an example of the routes being matched with an HTML file, and here it is matched with an example of JavaScript file. So in this tutorial we'll actually go and discover or kind of look into both types of routers. We'll first dive into page.js a bit, and then next over we'll go on to move on with app router and build the web app and have different tabs which will do more data fetching part like getting feeds from Twitter API or Facebook API. So definitely stay tuned for the future tutorial guys, because it's gonna be very interesting, and keep subscribing to the channel, and thank you for liking all my videos. Bye.